Hi everyone, welcome to another episode by Poor Man Gamer. Yesterday I posted a video about the play between Alicia Destiny and Blade. YouTube, thank you for correcting me. It was not 13 Lad, it was Blade. I was actually quite inspired by the way Blade played. So a lot of you guys saying, oh, you seem to have a big bias towards Alicia Destiny. It's not so much I have a bias, I just think she's one of the best micro management players there is. I really love Blade's style and how he anticipated all of her moves, and I'm actually gonna show you guys how I changed up my play style because of the way Blade played. So I was struggling a lot with Nod because a lot of the top players, I'll show you guys, they go with decks that are very heavy on bikes and on what do you call that, infernos, right? And the phantoms, as you can see here. So that's Bike Rush. As you can see, Alicia Destiny on the Nod side. She's also using the Phantom and the Inferno. And I actually been struggling a lot with that. So I'm actually going to show you guys a deck that was inspired by Benvin, right? I believe Benvin 2 is also a really, really great player because he uses units that seem very ordinary, but yet he's able to pick up a lot of wins with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple videos of me using this very basic deck that was inspired by him, and hopefully we can gain something out of it. So without further ado, here we go. This is the first match I want to show you guys. Some of these wins didn't make a lot of sense because of how well balanced this deck is. I really feel that people can greatly benefit from it. What's in this deck is the Rifleman, the Laser Squad, a bike, and you can either use a chem buggy or a Nod buggy, either way. Smaller maps, I think that the Nod buggy is a little bit better, where there's a lot, because the chem buggy is so expensive, right? And Scorpion tank and a Banshee. Okay, so that's Zocom on the right, that's me on the left. I start out with a Harvester, and this is why I really like this deck. It allows me to scout right away, right? And I used to be able to get away with not scouting and just assuming what people are going to send my way, but I found that to be less and less effective with more air decks and more combinations. So what I do is I see a Nod buggy, notice how conservatively I'm playing it. I'm just scouting to see what he has, and you notice that my primary objective right now is really to defend my Harvester. I have no interest in really engaging him much right now. The reason why I'm stalling out and just waiting for him to do something, one, he's charging up the missile for me, and two, now I can roll out a Scorpion tank, which is very, very effective. So take a look at what I do here. I actually let my laser troopers take the initial hit before I rode down and I stacked with my Scorpion tank to knock it out very quickly. The reason I did that is because the laser squads have to be stationary before they can do any damage. So that was the logic behind it. And I figured with the Scorpion tank punching his Nod buggy, he's not going to be able to do much damage against me. So I engaged my laser squad at the top against his bikes. As you can see, they're still level 9, not very strong, so I'm not able to do much damage. But look at it in terms of timing, right? I am able to almost win this missile right off the bat because of when I engaged him. It actually becomes really, really close here because I lost it there for a split second. I finally was able to use my Oxana charge up on my tank on the bottom, and I thought that I had this missile. I can't remember if I got it or not. Oh, I did. So as you can see, I got it just in the nick of time. And again, the benefit of this deck is I can roll laser squads, which are great at protecting my Harvesters. So every time they want to rush in, I'm able to play very conservatively and just protect my own Harvester. And as you can see there, in terms of matchups, the laser squad works really, really well. He rolls out a Seth's drill pod and uses a flame troop, and obviously it does quite a bit of damage against me. What I should have done there, you see that mistake? My Scorpion tank, I should have just parked it to let it punch the Nod buggy. I shouldn't have rolled it all the way down. There was no point rolling it all the way down. But because of the flexibility of this deck, if I lose some troops, I can quickly replace them. And I find out with this deck, which was inspired by Benvin 2, it really allows me to have a lot of flexibility in terms of how I can adapt to what's on the map. So after I engage and get rid of his flame squad, I moved my chem buggy away because it's basically a glass cannon. They don't have a lot of health whatsoever. And so I'm just trying my best to play the matchups correctly here. I'll go ahead and roll out my laser troops against his tank. I do see that Nod buggy, right? At this time, there's not much I can really do against it. So I roll my chem buggy to the bottom in case he opens another drill pod from behind. I roll up my tank, and I roll up my Banshee. And as you can see here, my timing with this deck, because I'm new to it, is still a little bit off. So that missile was a lot closer than I would have liked, but I was able to steal it from him at the last second. So still a lot of adjustment for me in terms of timing the missiles, but I found this deck to be very, very well balanced and very effective to use. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys another match here. Let me see here. It wasn't with Zolcom. Well, it wasn't him. I believe it was these guys.
Establishing battlefield control.
And the matches that I've lost so far were challenge matches where either the opponent was very high ranked and they out-microed me, or as I'm playing these games, I actually lagged out one of the games just as the missile count was going up, and that got me in trouble. So there I am on the other side, and I'm actually going to show you guys the entire map for now, so you can see what it looks like from the opponent's perspective. So at this time, I don't know that he opened with a double harvester, right? I'm able to scout with the rifleman, right? I just attack him. I should have went up and started charging the missile already, because this deck depends on winning the missile early. I'm not sure why I didn't move up my rifleman. Not a very smart move on my part, right? So I go ahead and just pressure him more. I leave my rifleman there the way it is. I mean, he's gonna die anyway against a flame squad. But the good thing is, because of this distraction, you notice how he rolled out another flame squad. So that's 2 flame squads now that he's rolled out. And I'm able to use my chem buggy to quickly dispatch and get rid of his flame troops. And because the chem buggy can attack on the move, there's a big advantage where I can go ahead and just keep chasing and moving my units around. Notice how his bike is having so much trouble against that one chem buggy, and I'm able to do some damage against his harvester as well. It's not until now that he finally took it out, but by now I felt that it was too little too late. I'm able to roll out my chem buggy again. Right? I'm able to gang up on his units, and I keep pressuring his harvester while clearing off the board so the missile keeps going up. I have to pull my chem buggy back now. There you go, you giant idiot. That was me yelling at myself, in case you didn't notice. It wasn't very smart on me to wait that long. But that's a lot of harvesters that I took out already. And essentially, at this point, for the rest of the game, I literally would not need a harvester, and I think my economy would have been just fine. So this is where I start rolling out even more units. I do notice that he's got laser squads coming down, so I again push out my chem buggy. I go ahead and roll my chem buggy right on top of my missile squads because they can attack on the fly. Right? And I'm just trying my best to pressure him more. In terms of managing the missile, I did not do a great job, right? I'll be honest with you, I didn't. So that is something that I'm still looking to improve, is keeping that missile charge. By the time he rolls out the flame squad, he's pretty flustered at this time because he hasn't been successful cracking through any of my units. And I just keep pressuring him over and over again. So out comes another tank. I'm rolling down my Banshee to the bottom because I noticed that he doesn't have any counters against my air units, except his laser squads over there on the top. So I go ahead and I blow up his harvesters again, so he doesn't build up an economy. I know that he's probably got some kind of tech lab, otherwise why would you keep building all these harvesters, right? Or maybe he just loves double harvesters. I don't know. But either way, I keep engaging him on the top. Look at what I do here. I actually park my Scorpion tank right on top of the Tiberium, so you can't harvest at all. And I use my chem buggy on the top, and I keep running in circles so that I can clear out all the infantry units. And by this time, he's rolling out even more infantry units. I go ahead and use my chem buggy, and I just roast all of his laser squads. And by the time I lose a chem buggy, it's not a big deal because I can roll another one. Like I said, I'm almost at 1,000 Tiberium crystals, right? I mean, yeah, he's not going to be able to win this match. I got the missile, and that's the end of that. So, not a great opponent in terms of skill level, because a lot of his combinations didn't make a lot of sense, but it does prove the validity of this deck. So I'm going to show you here in this match. This guy, he's got level 11s all the way as a start. He's got a Mammoth tank and a Kodiak. And I'm still using a very basic deck, so he outpowers me significantly across the board, right? His units are so strong compared to mine. Mine are nowhere near his level. But I'm going to show you guys that this deck that Benvin 2 used I like him more than using the Inferno and the Phantoms. I ran with that deck for a while. The problem is my Inferno is only level 8. I don't have the cards to get it any stronger. So the beauty of this deck is I can scout right away, and I know if someone's trying to rush me, right? Before that, I was playing blind with an opening with either the Rhino or the Not Buggy, right? So now I immediately roll my infantry back. I'm just there to protect my Harvester. I don't know what he's doing with his jump jet squads, to be honest with you. I don't know why he ran away. I'm just going to go ahead and start pressuring his Harvester. I don't care if I really lose that laser squad because I have cash to spare at this time. So I go ahead and roll out my Chem Buggy to engage his shock troops. Notice how level 9 Chem Buggy takes so long to wipe out his shock troops. So I go ahead, of course, I go after his jump jet squad, and a level 11 jump jet squad is a really strong unit. I guess he's waiting to stock up on units before he gangs up on me, but the Chem Buggy just does great work against infantry. I'm able to take out 2 of his squads. I'm rolling out my bike, and I do see his Pitbull, and I back off. Right? Strategic retreat is something I preach all the time. It's something all great players do. He does a really great job here chasing my Chem Buggy. So I go ahead and just move my missile squad in place. And again, I'm just playing conservatively to try to protect my Harvester this whole time. So I'll leave my laser squad there. He's still trying to pressure my Harvester on the top, which I don't blame him. He's doing the right thing. I know that my laser squad right now is just really to delay him. I'm trying to keep that missile count going up. I go ahead and roll out a Rifleman so I can go contest the map better. And I did not expect him to roll out another set of jump jet squad, and he timed it just right. So I go ahead and I move it down. I admit that I'm going to lose this missile. So I actually just go ahead and let him take it. I could have done a better job defending this missile. I didn't. Again, conservative play. I'm backing off my tank, trying to protect my Harvester because I know I need this economy. I'm trying to use my Rifleman to engage his jump jet, and I'm trying my best here to defend his Harvester rush, but unfortunately, because his units were so strong, I couldn't get through. He blew up my tank. I was not able to move it out in time. Not a big deal. I think that was a mistake on his part, blowing all his Tiberium pointlessly on a iron cannon that he didn't really need. I didn't notice he had a double Harvester until this time. So now my focus is I gotta do some damage against his Harvesters, right? I mean, frick, he probably is building up for really strong Tech Lab units. So I charge up my tank there with the Oxana. I'll go ahead and take out his Shockwave troops. Every subsequent missile after the first one goes by just a little bit faster. So I charge it up, and at the bottom there, I tile block his Pitbull so he can't come in. Right, and I was able to get this missile. Even though I got it just in the nick of time, it doesn't really matter, right? A win's a win. I roll out my Scorpion tank on the bottom, and I go ahead and use my Chem Buggy and chase him once again. I'm trying my best to get rid of his jump jet squad, and not too worried about in terms of an economy. I do notice he's got a Mammoth tank, so now it gets kind of interesting. I'm thinking to myself, well, what can I do, right? Because he's got some pretty strong units. I use my Chem Buggy, and what I'm trying to do is sneak it across that very third tile to try to take out his Shockwave troops that I saw earlier. I moved my did I move my Banshee out of the way? I was only slow reactions there. But as you can see, I'm just trying to jump on all 3 tiles. He's got the Mammoth tank on the bottom. He's got the Kodiak on the top. I'm not worried about his Kodiak whatsoever, because I believe this missile is going to tick by faster than he can blow up my base, and I was able to steal this win. He should have won this game. If he played his cards right, and he played me a little bit better, he definitely should have won this game. But it just shows how effective this deck can be. I'm not that great at it yet. I'm still working out the little kinks here and there. But hopefully you guys were able to gain something out of this video. And yeah, I'll even show you my loss. I'll show you where I spazzed up. I totally had this guy. Until you'll see why suddenly my units just kind of froze up and it looks like they weren't doing anything. That was the primary reason, and then after that I just got flustered and wasn't able to pick up the win. Plus he does a great job microing. So Mr. Board, you know, hats off to you. You were a great opponent. I roll up my Rifleman again. Nothing too special to see here. I'm just scouting him up. So he's got a double Harvester. He's got a Flame Squad, and I move it back, right? I like this deck because there is a reliance on the Chem. The one drawback is the reliance on the Chem Buggy here. I try to engage him. As you can see, he smartly rolls out everything the way that any great player should, right? So I was able to take out his flame squad. I was able to take out his laser troops. And there, I'm just trying to protect my chem buggy at this time to engage his bikes. I go ahead and roll out my rifleman to the top. I'm trying my best to win this missile. I should have moved my chem buggy to the top right earlier. I didn't, right? And because of that, he was able to take out my tank. I'm not sure what his tank is made of, which is kind of unfortunate, but I do manage to jump on all 3 tiles here. I thought I would have him, but at the very last second, he was able to take out my chem buggy. You know, still very, very closely contested, and yes, I was able to get this first missile. So, I'm actually very, very amped up right now. I'm pumped, right? Because I was able to take him up, but notice how he micros his units away very, very well. I don't know why my laser squad ran up all the way to the top. I should have kept it in the middle and then decide what to do with it after. So now I'm engaging his tanks, I'm engaging his bikes, right? Not doing a great job microing here, as you can see. This is still not where I lost the game. I lost the game later on. I was able to take out some of his squads. I roll a laser squad here because I'm trying to conserve my Tiberium. He's able to roll out units very quickly, so I suspect he actually had a double harvester. Oh no, he didn't. He just did a really good job with his economy. I go ahead and take out his tank. I'm moving my harvester back because I really don't want to lose it. I don't know. This is where I started lagging out. You see my Banshee there? I don't know why my Banshee rolled to the top. What I meant to do is roll my Banshee to the left and my chem buggy to the right. Because of that spazzy moment, they were able to do quite a bit of damage against my chem buggy. My Banshee took damage for no reason. And I am not in a great place right now, and I lost a second missile. Right? I wasn't able to jump on all 3 tiles. He body blocked me really, really well. Right, so down goes my down goes the second missile. Still kind of in the game. I let my laser squad there die just to see what he has. He smartly rolls out a Banshee to counter whatever units that I have. So now my chem buggy is kind of useless. This is where a not buggy would have been a little bit better. And as you can see here, there's not much I can really do against him. I try my best to protect my chem buggy, and I try to engage his Banshee with my laser squad. I'm just trying my best to play the matchup here. But he does a great job moving everything around. Boom, look at that. He timed it perfectly and took out 4 of my units. He used that chem buggy against me, and he did a really great job clearing out my entire army. Because he was able to clear everything out, I'm not able to contest this missile well enough. I tried to move my bike down, but it was just too little too late. He did such a great job, and unfortunately I lost this match. But as you can see, even in this match, it was very close. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Take care.